First, they came for my gas stoves, and I said nothing. No, wait, we said a lot about that, and we were told we were liars and crazy right wing fanatics. No one's coming for your gas stoves. And of course, they're coming for your gas stoves. But boy, this Biden administration, they're not stopping there. They're coming after air conditioners now, and dishwashers, and beverage vending machines, portable air cleaners. And well, why not throw the kitchen sink in there? Seriously, I shouldn't give them ideas. They're going to come after your kitchen sink. So, what's this all about? Well, it's about the totalitarian left knowing what's best for you. And it's all under the guise of health or the environment or safety, but it's all the same common denominator. They hate our economy, they hate our progress, they hate convenience, and they want to destroy it. Daniel Turner is joining us right now. He is with the remind me again here. Where did it go? It was on my screen. Daniel, Power of the Future.
Powerthefuture.com. Thank you,
I
Larry.
just like to call you a shill for big oil, Daniel Turner, but that's easier to remember. I'm not overstating the case. They really are going for all these things, and they keep changing the reason, but it all comes down to one thing: they hate progress and they hate innovation.
Yeah, and they hate fossil fuels without a doubt. The odd thing about all of these mandates coming out of the White House, for starters, Gina McCarthy was on the record about 2 years ago saying this was happening, and she was bragging about the hundreds of regulations that were going to hit appliances. So here we are. But the really curious thing is that none of these things are being proposed by engineers or scientists or the Maytag man. They're all being proposed for a political outcome. And you want to ask Jennifer Granholm, you want to ask Gina McCarthy, what do you know about dishwashers? What do you know about hot water heaters? Why do we think government will give us better products than the free market and a free people can bring about through the invisible hand? And so it's very frustrating to deal with this level of true belief and faith in the power of big government.
And if you think about it, if a manufacturer comes out with a more efficient dishwasher or a more efficient hot water heater that's going to heat your water and save you energy, you're probably going to buy it if you can afford it and if that's a priority for you. Otherwise, you should have the choice to buy something else. But if there's a demand for it in the market, I would think that that manufacturer would do very well.
Absolutely. And this is the problem with finding this so called common ground, right? We're going to find common ground with the Biden administration. There's very hard to find common ground with a philosophy that really believes that the government knows better than the free market, that government knows better than auto manufacturers, appliance manufacturers, healthcare better than your doctor, right? When Joe Biden talks about himself or his administration, he genuinely believes that he is imbued with some sort of preternatural wisdom that comes from elected office. And those of us who believe in freedom and free markets and our founders did not believe this. They were highly skeptical of government thinking that they knew better than the common man. And so common ground is hard when you have this administration that genuinely thinks that they know what is best for you, and they will force you to their philosophy whether you want it or not.
Now, there's also nobody sitting in the room at the Energy Department or the EPA or the Consumer Protection Agency who's thinking this through logically. Let's you and I do this for a minute, all right? The new regulation on dishwashers, I'm told, is that each wash cycle can be no more than 3.2 gallons of water. Right now, it's 3.5 gallons of water. They're not giving you any ideas on how to make your dishwasher more efficient to clean those dishes. It's not like dishes are getting less dirty, right? They're getting dirtier. So you've only got 3.2 gallons of water, Daniel. You put your cycle through, the dishes come out, and they're not clean. So what are you going to do? You're
You're going
going
to
to
run it a
use more
second
water to
time.
clean them. So what are we accomplishing here?
Absolutely. It's the same stupidity that gave us, back Seinfeld made fun of it, the low flow toilets and low flow shower heads. And what was the result? We didn't save water. We used more because it took longer or two flushes to do what the original toilet or the original shower was supposed to do. So yeah, we're not going to use less water. What you're going to do is going to run your dishes twice, or you're going to pre-wash them in the sink and use a lot of water and then put them in the machine. So again, if you want to incentivize better outcome, if you want better outcomes, incentivize better outcomes. But we're not going to get better outcomes whether it's about electricity use or water consumption. We're not going to get that through the heavy hand of government. We've never been able to.
Let's go back to the gas stoves because, again, we raised the alarm on this a few months ago when it was first floated. We were told we were crazy. Oh, it's another myth from the right wing. And now we've got the state of New York, Governor Hochul, who's actually signed into law a ban on new development, new buildings having gas lines. gas is abundant. It's what God has graced America with natural gas. We've got more than we can work with here. Why the attack on natural gas, Daniel?
Yeah, for one specific reason, the fossil fuel industry is still in the hands of the private sector. And if you believe in the power of government, if you believe in the state, then you cannot allow anything in the private sector to have greater influence. And electricity, for good or for ill, electricity in our country is a government function. And so by eliminating the fossil fuel industry, you eliminate the private sector, you eliminate freedom. I've lived in houses that have both gas and electricity powered hot water heaters, stoves. I've seen the difference in my utility bills. Natural gas is way more efficient, it's way more affordable. And also, when we do have blackouts, and I live on a farm here in rural Virginia, and we do sometimes lose power from windstorms. But I can still make dinner. I can still have hot water because I have a natural gas propane tank. And what's going to happen to American citizens when everything is electrified? And we already have example of that. What does Gavin Newsom say? Especially when there are wildfires. Hey, don't use electricity to charge your cars. Well, if I'm trying to escape, that doesn't do me much good, right?
Right.
But that doesn't happen if you have a gas-powered car. So as we electrify everything, we're putting a lot more confidence in the government. And boy, if you've seen the way our government operates, that should make you very uncomfortable.
The good news here is this can be reversed pretty quickly. If I remember right, under the Trump administration, they had a rule within the EPA that for every new regulation, they do away with three or something like that. And they did
Mhm.
turn the corner rather rapidly. Will there be the political will for whoever the next president is, if it's a Republican, to reverse these in a robust way? Can it be done?
Yeah, there will be, because that's why they have to use the administrative state, because there is no appetite in Congress. Look, the Democrats controlled both chambers for the last 2 years. They could have proposed all this by law, by legislation. They didn't. And we can say the same about student loan. We can say the same about Roe. There's lots of big issues they are using now for political purposes, for campaign purposes, that they could have very easily legislated when they had power, and they chose not to. So, yes, the damage can be undone. But in the short term, look at what you're doing to the manufacturing industry. Look at all these huge companies that are going to be forced to comply with these mandates, and that's going to have market consequences. It's going to make the price of all of these goods in the short term more expensive, or lead to shortages like we see with food.
Right.
So there is going to be real damage from this, and it's just, again, it's very disappointing that this is the way the government chooses to use its power to inflict
It,
this pain on the people.
it sounds like you're telling me that this is AOC's and Bernie Sanders and Greta Thunberg's Green New Deal, that they're basically pushing through the administration, the executive branch, without actually taking a vote in Congress.
Absolutely. And that's why the part of the Green New Deal they did actually legislate, they had to call the Inflation Reduction Act. And then
Right.
after it was signed, they tell you it was a climate bill. Well, why didn't you call it a climate change bill, right? Because they know there's no appetite for it. The American people don't want this. We've seen the way it's failed in Europe. We've seen the way it's failed in states like California. Americans like their freedom, and they like the reliability of and the affordability of abundant domestic fossil fuels. And we don't want to give them up anytime soon. The same way we don't want to give up our freedoms on guns, the same way they want to give up our freedoms on lots of issues. That's why they have to use the power of the bureaucratic state. That's why they love big government. And that's why when people like Biden get power, they are a huge threat to your liberty.
By the way, I don't think they've changed the dishwashers in the White House. They haven't switched the beast over, the presidential limousine over to being an electric car. It's always us. We have to be the guinea
Yeah.
pigs. Daniel Turner, Power of the Future. Always good talking with you. There's more to come on O'Connor tonight. Keep it here. It's Salem News Channel.